So apparently yesterday I was talking about how Disney Channel premiered Amphibia, but they premiered it at like 10 o'clock in the morning. So while it is possible a lot of people did see it, it's not really the best time slot. But there is a good thing. And that is the fact that Disney is actually premiering new episodes of Amphibia all week. So, of course, including America's Got Talent. In fact, almost right before America's Got Talent, I watched the second episode of Amphibia. But I'll get to America's Got Talent first, because that's usually the priority over what I normally do for a video like this. So, good morning and happy hump day, everybody. Oh, yeah. This is a great way to, that was a great way to roll right into hump day. That's awesome. So, yes, America's Got Talent. I cannot even begin to fathom some of the stuff that I did see. Let me get a list of the acts. I really should, like, okay, first of all, I had no idea there was such a thing as a rat trainer. I did not. But if there's one thing that the movie Ratatouille taught us is that rats are creatures too. And they can be very smart and they can be trained to do things. So never underestimate the power of a rat. So yes, that is, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't own a rat, nor would I ever want to own one day, but I do see the appeal. And, you know, it is kind of cool, but, you know, it's just not my thing. I actually had 2 cats growing up, which are the opposite of which, you know, are the worst thing for rats. So, you know, there you go. Okay. This girl from South Carolina singing Aretha Franklin. I mean, if you guys have known me for a long time, you know that my voice is really, really, really weird sounding. It was even weirder before I hit puberty. I'll put it to you this way. I could hit that one note in the song that, you know, Ainsley was singing last night. I mean, now I can only hit that note if I'm in the shower. For whatever reason, I always sound better when I sing in the shower. I don't know why. Let's see. Oh, this is, the next act that showed was the magician that was actually the son of 2 previous contestants on America's Got Talent. So definitely carrying the legacy of talent, but in a way where, you know, this young man is clearly his own unique individual. He was able to do like some of the best card tricks I've ever seen. Like first he took like regular size cards and then used magic and turned them into little baby cards. What? It was just so, it was really awesome. Let's see, what else? What other, I'm trying to get to all the, auditions that, I saw. Let's see. There was the Epic Dance Crew from, I think I forget what country they're from, but dude, you are not fooling anyone. Those are all Mortal Kombat characters. I mean, the head guy was Raiden. I mean, really? And yes, it is pronounced Raiden. If you really want to be very technical, it is pronounced Raiden. I mean, if you want to go with Raiden or Raiden, I'm not going to stop you. In fact, I could easily use it interchangeably, but, you know, in a day and age where you try and be PC and a lot of characters in both Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are both based on, you know, Eastern names, you know, Eastern like from Asia, then, you know, try and do that. Like, Ryu is actually pronounced Ryu. But that's not here or there. So, apparently, seriously, like, that dance crew would basically be like one of those videos that you see of, like, some guy using technology to make video game characters, like, dance, a weird dance or whatever. Imagine that, but, like, in real life. That was really cool. Okay, best version of karaoke I have ever seen. And, okay, so if you guys don't know, Simon Cowell really does not like karaoke. And this guy used, you know, karaoke in his act. But what he did was, it's clearly played up for comedy. Because he did the song Tequila, which is an awesome song, and I'll get to why in a second. And basically, the significantly easy fact about doing this song is you only say the word tequila when you're supposed to. I love the song Tequila, I really do. Like, no kidding, the first time I ever heard that song was watching The Sandlot, which I don't care what anyone says, that movie is an American classic. Okay, so that's some of the extra. The Voices of Service, from the U.S. military, that was, thank you very much for really anyone who serves our country, thank you. Thank you oh so very, 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 very much. No one can ever really thank you guys enough for, your service, and, it's greatly appreciated. In fact, if ever I see, like, a veteran in real life, I always take a moment to say, thank you for serving our country, and, it makes me feel good inside. Even if that turns out to be, like, my only good deed for the day, I still feel really good. So, there's that. Anyway, speaking of animals, when I spoke of the Rat Act earlier, so many dogs. So many dogs. Like, Gabrielle Union and Julianne Hough are losing their minds. Like, okay, if you guys, saw the Oscars, and you saw Mike Myers and Dana Carvey promote the movie Bohemian Rhapsody for a Best Picture winner, well, it makes sense. Well, they did that because Bohemian Rhapsody, the song Bohemian Rhapsody, played in Mike Myers and Dana Carvey's movie Wayne's World. And both Mike Myers and Dana Carvey walk out on stage, and they're like, ah, 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 because Queen is literally sitting in the front row of the seats of the Oscars or whatever, and basically like the ah, 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 like that's what Julianne Hough and Gabrielle Union were doing. And I thought that was hilarious. And, the dog act was, of course, fantastic, So many cute little puppies and poodles. It was wonderful. Okay. 2 acts I definitely need to bring your attention to are the flautist and the guitar player. Now, in my many years at Horseheads and subsequently Trinity Poly, I met a lot of musicians. A lot of them. Some specialize in saxophone. Some in the piano. Some with the oboe. Some with percussion. And obviously I saw plenty of flautists as well. And when it came to the flautist, okay, or actually the flautist, and I actually met a lot of guitar players too. I want to point that out. Like, I met so many guitar players over at Horseheads that there are like bands all over the place. No kidding. One of the bands at Horseheads was named Harvest Dinner. Those guys were awesome. I wonder how they're doing. Oh well. And, oh yeah, so, and I actually met a lot of really great guitar players at Trinity Poly as well. In fact, there's a rock concert every year, so you're going to find a lot of great acts. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to find, I couldn't tell you from Trinity Poly or Horseheads who was a better flautist or guitar player than the 2 acts I saw on America's Got Talent. I mean, the guy played the guitar exactly the way it was meant to be played. Like, not just the strings, but, the board and, like, the banging on the side, like, the percussion aspect of it. I love that. That's great. So, yes, that was awesome. The Bayworm, beatboxing, for a very, very, very brief time, I dabbled in beatboxing, and I was okay, but even in my prime, I was nowhere near as good as those 4 individuals, and they were awesome. Now we get to the Golden Buzzer, which, okay, Terry Crews is responsible for doing the Golden Buzzer. So, of course, when he finds an act from Michigan, it's going to appeal to him because Terry Crews is from Flint, Michigan. That's the town in Michigan that has the clean water issue, which we all really should try and do something about that. That's not meant to be a joke or whatever. We really should be doing something about that because it's been like 15, 20 years and I don't think they still have clean water. I think. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty bad. Anyway, I'm just saying right now, that had to make me cry almost. Like, I loved when Terry Crews walked out when the Detroit Youth Choir, after they performed, Terry Crews says, each and every single one of these individuals on here is me. Because, I wanted the opportunity, I wanted to get out there and make it, and, I did. And all it takes is one person to believe in them. And the choir director of the Detroit Youth Choir, believed in them. And so they got the golden buzzer, which was emotional. It was beautiful. I almost cried. I loved it. I really hope that this choir does well. Actually, that's the thing. They never show all the acts for obvious reasons, so you're not going to get to them all, and a lot of them really don't deserve to move on, for that matter. But in some capacity, we want these people to succeed, or at least make a name for themselves. At least that's how I look at it. So anyway, now we go back to the second episode of Amphibia, which was, hold on, let me look up the title. Where is it? Let me get to it. Okay, Kane Crazy and Flood, Sweat, and Tears, because, it's a half-hour show, but it's, 15-minute or 11-minute, segments. So, Kane Crazy starts out with, Anne making fun of Hop Pop, and, Hop Pop storming off saying, if you don't behave, I'll, you won't be living here anymore. And so Hop Pop goes and takes a nap, and is still making fun of Hop Pop, and accidentally breaks his, prized cane, which was passed down from, generations and generations or whatever. Here's where it gets funny, and here's where it got me. They go to a place called the Woodsmith, which, okay, Woodsmith, like a blacksmith, only works with wood. And so they give him the cane, and so the guy says, and so they ask, darn it, it was, he asks him, do you have, son of a gun, I just memorized the dialogue before the video, is that, they ask him, can you fix it? And he says, I absolutely can not. Son of a gun, I just had the dialogue memorized, because they basically do that thing where he says, I absolutely cannot, or absolutely no way. Then they ask, do you have one we can buy? And as a matter of fact, I don't. It was great. So the guy tells him that in order to go find wood for this cane, they gotta go to this really dangerous tree that you need a map in order to get to. And then the guy says, I can give you the map, but it'll cost you. And here's where it got me. Anne literally takes her phone. She's like, click. The map appears on the phone screen. And then the guy's like, or you can do that for free. That got me so good, man. I loved it. And, so they get the cane, but, they end up breaking it or whatever. And, it's like that was the highlight of the, clip for me. But in the end, even though they don't get the cane, they still show that they try to work hard to get it back. And, Hop Pop's like, oh, I'm absolutely furious. In fact, you're on dish duty for a month. That was really good. And now Flood, Sweat, and Tears. Basically, for the duration of the series so far, Anne has been living in, the basement, but, the basement gets flooded. So, Anne and Sprig have become really good friends, so they decide to room together in Sprig's room. And it's one of those episodes where, in the beginning of the episode, they're great and friends or whatever. In fact, it's so great, they're like, we're Sprig and Anne and Sprig. They combine their names to form Spran, and then they go, Spran against the world, which is an awesome catchphrase, by the way. I hope they use that more. And you know, it's one of those episodes where they start off as friends, but they room, and it turns out that, you know, they're not quite perfect for each other. But I like how in the beginning, you know, it starts off with them getting rid of critters out of their garden, and later in the episode, they use the same critters that are, you know, messing around in the flooded basement to get rid of them. Like, that's a nice sort of parallel. I like that. That's what you should do. You know, bring everything, you know, full circle, and it does. And even though Anne and Sprig may not be the best of roommates, you know, it shows that their friendship is better than ever because, you know, they understand each other a lot more. They know each other more. That's a good thing. So, yeah. So basically, I like how the first one really focused on both of them focused on comedy, but the first one I felt was definitely focused more on comedy, especially when they bring the monster back to the woodsmith's place, and this is in Cane Crazy, the first episode. And there's like a jar of termites because it turns out the tree is actually like a giant insect with like sort of wood-like exoskeleton or whatever. And then Anne sees this jar of termites. And then Anne's like, why would a woodsmith have termites? And then the woodsmith, who's hiding in the chest from the monster's like, I'm a complicated man. Then he like close to the desk. Like, that was great. That also really got me. So yeah, there's like a lot of comedy, a lot of heartwarming moments. I love this show. I can't wait to talk about the episode that will premiere tomorrow. Yeah, I like how they're doing this in bombs or whatever. So that's really cool. Like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on the social media platforms. I am humbled I made this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy for today. I hope we have a wonderful hump day. And remember, if any of you guys ever want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have your back. Take care. Make good choices. Spran against the world. Take care.